Hello and welcome to, we're in week 11 now. Week 11 of the Transfer Portal CFB gambling show. I'm joined by Andrew. Andrew, welcome back.
It's been forever. I feel like Eminem in that song No Love saying that I'm back again. He says I'm alive again, more alive than I have been in my whole entire life. Whatever the lyric is, but it feels like I've been off for what, like a month? So
It's been a couple of weeks, yeah.
yeah. So now I'm glad to finally be back. It's been a while since since I've been on here, and I'm finally ready to start winning again.
Yeah, it's good to have. Of course, when you're back, we're missing Andrewster and Matt, of course. But before we get
Happy
into
birthday, Matt, by the way.
yeah, happy birthday, Matt. Happy birthday, Matt. We miss you. Before we get into our picks, though, a word from our sponsor. Winning season is officially returned, and with the NCAA back in action, there are plenty of opportunities to win at MyBookie. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or first timer, MyBookie gets you the most for your money with a double deposit bonus up to $1,000. To claim your bonus, sign up and use promo code TRANSFER on your first deposit, and you'll instantly double your money with MyBookie. It's simple. First-time bettor. Wow, I can't really speak today. It's simple. First-time bettors make a $100 deposit. That puts $200 in your account, and you can use the funds to bet on as many individual games, contests, or props as you want. Bet on a team to win, bet money lines, bet spreads, bet totals, bet whatever you want. You can predict a national championship winner or use the MyBookie prop builder, and that'll give you an edge. That'll give you the edge you need to secure the bag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
You got South Alabama covering this week?
I do in a parlay. In my dog lay, I do, even though they're not a dog. But I'll explain why it's called a dog lay in a bit. So we're back in action, week 11. We got we're in the witching hour of action right now as we're recording. I need this over in NIU Western Michigan. It does not look good because there's a minute left. I need a touch over Western Michigan. I don't think I can do it. But I wish we could talk action bets, but this comes out on Friday. But I have a Friday pick for us to start the week. I'm going with probably the worst game on the board. I'm going USC Colorado. We're going with one of the best teams in the Pac-12, one of the worst teams in the country. USC sitting at a 34-point favorite at home. I like the spread. I think they can blow them out, but I'm going to go with USC team total. It's not out yet, but I kind of did the math. It should be around 44.5, 47.5, somewhere around there. But I think they get to that number 49. Caleb Williams is just way too good. The offense is way too explosive. Travis Dye is great back there. Colorado's defense stinks. USC should have no problem. Oh, he almost picked it off. USC should have no problem putting up 50 plus. So I'm going to start my Friday, hopefully with a winner. I'm already positive on the week. I hit my 2 action bets yesterday. I'm waiting on Buffalo and this part I have out right now. But let's start our week right with USC team total over.
I mean, it sounds good. I'm currently trying to look it up as we speak. I just did the math using the total of 66, which is what the game total is at. They're favored currently by 34.5. So as that would sit right now, it would currently be at approximately 50. But I am going to double check using the all reliable of MyBookie and see what it does show for point total on my end. And yeah, literally 50 on the dot. So if you want to go for over 50, it's minus 119. And if you want to go under 50, it's minus 116.
Yeah, I like the 50. I think they'll score over 50, so I'm pretty confident in that. I tried doing makeshift math. Wasn't great, but that's what I'm going to start my Friday with. So moving on to the Saturday slate, I see here as I'm looking at the scoreboard, I think I'm going to go to another team total to start my Saturday off. I want to go with the Ohio State team total. They're over. Penn State just scored, 42 points against Indiana. So Ohio State, they're 40-point favorites. They should be able to put up over 50 as well, just like USC should. So I'm going to go Ohio State team total over. Again, I think that number is close to 50. It's not out yet on DraftKings. I haven't checked my bookie yet. But I'm confident in Stroud, Travion Henderson, Mayan Williams. They're going to they need to kind of get back into their own because they had trouble in that weather at Northwestern. But they're just going to come out on a mission and just destroy Indiana.
Yeah, I like that play a lot. I really do. I have zero faith in Indiana. I think this has got to be Tom Allen's last. I think this is his
Yeah.
last couple games, to be honest. I'm sick and tired of his stupid face being around. But I think Ohio State is going to blow them out. I was thinking about taking maybe like a minus 21 first half. I was really thinking about it. I don't
I
have a
don't
play
hate
on
that.
this game, but there's something about Purdue and Illinois that just seems winnable for me, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if I should take that under a 44.5 because, quite frankly, I think Purdue's been a disappointment this season.
Oh yeah.
They're 5-4. I had them top two in my Big Ten West predictions. That's obviously not the case. They only scored 3 points against Iowa last week. They scored 24 against Wisconsin, but anybody that actually saw that game saw that I think it was like 17 of those points were in garbage time, anyways. They haven't put up over that mark since 43 against Nebraska. Right now, Purdue, they just don't look good. I think I would like Illinois minus 6.5 because they still, despite their disappointing performance against Michigan State, I still think they're a top 10 team in the top 10 defense in the country. And I still think that they are still the best team in the Big Ten West for my liking. Fuck it. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm tired. I don't really have much mind control. I don't have much self control. Let's fuck it. Let's roll with it. Illinois minus 6.5.
Love it. Yeah, I was thinking, I sacked them. Western Michigan's killing this parlay, man. You need this over. Oh well, what can you do? What can you do? Yeah, I like that play. I was originally leaning Purdue, but again, no official play for me here. I just don't like how they've looked. Aiden O'Connell's been a shell of himself this year, and they're really struggling against the run. And Chase Brown's going to run all over them. It's like he's going to have 40 carries again for almost 200 yards, and he's going to go crazy. So I like the Illinois play. It's a get back spot for them because if Illinois loses this game, I believe they go into a 3-way tie with there's a tie. You know better than me, but then there's a tie scenario where
it's got to be Iowa and Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what it would be, which would be just absolutely gross, horrendous. But yeah, I like the Illinois play. So
but is that if Iowa wins? I mean, because
I think if Iowa beats Wisconsin, I think even if Wisconsin wins, whoever wins that game, and Illinois loses, they go into a 3-way tie with Minnesota and the Wisconsin Iowa winner for a 3.
That is just so fucking gross, to be honest. Just to think about, like, oh my god, Wisconsin's still in the race for the Big Ten West. Highly doubt they're gonna pull it off, but it's just the Big Ten West has been a fucking shit show all year. Like, I can't believe I watch that division on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it's the Big Ten this year. Outside of pretty much the 3 best teams are Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. Ohio State, Michigan both stomped Penn State, so really it's a two team conference, and they're both in the same division. So let's move on to I don't think you have an official play here. This game is very interesting to me. LSU Arkansas. Wow, we go. What are you doing? Sorry, this is the first time I've had Max on TV live because last week we recorded in the afternoon, and this is just upsetting watching this live. But LSU Arkansas. LSU's only a 3-point favorite against a very, very down Arkansas team and just lost at home to Liberty. That's screaming rat to me. That's fishy. It's a trap. I'm staying away from it. I think LSU is a much better team, but like Vegas is begging you to take the Tigers there.
Yeah, I'm staying a hell of away from this game a lot because I think as soon as everybody's putting eggs into LSU's basket, this is kind of just, also this battle for the boot, the Bayou boot or the whatever Southeastern boot, whatever the hell boot that this game is. Mm-hmm. I've seen bad Arkansas teams beat good LSU teams before, and Arkansas, they just have not looked good. I'd probably say ever since they lost to A&M, however long ago that was. I mean, they've lost 5 of their last 7, 4 of their last 6 games. Yeah, exactly. I mean, their only wins are against at BYU, who are a shell, and against Liberty, which I don't care if Liberty's been good this year. You're still a team that made it to a big bowl last year. You're in the SEC. You should beat Liberty. I'm not touching this game. I'm not trying to say that a jury is out on Sam Pittman because he's still resurrected that program, but it's there's absolutely all. This is just the point of the year where it's like all shit hits the fan.
Yeah, 100%. That's a weird game. I'm gonna stay away from it. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm kind of rooting for LSU to win out and cause some chaos and win the SEC. I don't think it'll happen, but I would absolutely love that.
Yeah, but it would really twist committee's arm if they made it all the way though.
Oh yeah,
they would literally be
the worst.
They'd be forced to let a 2-loss team into the playoff for the first time ever. Like they'd be forced to do it.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah. So then the next game from us, you have a play here, SMU USF, which is, I don't know what you pulled out of your hat on this one, but that's a gross game.
It is, but I'm going with the aspect that, USF obviously just fired their coach last week, and even though they did win the game after, I mean, did you not see SMU put up all
that was crazy.
Points? I mean, I was watching. Never in my life has seen my own team scoring 35 points at the half made me feel so down before in my life. And seeing them get 63 points, 56 points. However, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I stopped watching that shit after the third quarter. But it was LSU Alabama. I had to turn that game on. But in all seriousness, I mean, we saw what the SMU offense could do when they're at their peak. Rashee Rice is a beast. Tanner Mordecai. I mean, I thought he had a really slow start to the season, but it looks like he's really picked it up when he played Houston. I just think SMU is just – it feels like every time I bet on SMU, like I actually choose to bet on SMU, they decide to make me money. So I'm going to go ahead, go with my gut here again, and, yeah, I think they're going to beat USF by 10 in the first half.
I like that. I mean, a team that put up 56 points in the first half against
stupid that should not be legal.
I was out. I was at the bar and I checked. I was like, oh my God, this is the score. Crazy. I wish you can only, that's kind of with how betting goes. You can only wish you take the over in that game. That's just an absolute dream. So I'm kind of going to stay on the trend of poopy, stinky games here. I was studying the board, didn't love anything, and this one caught my eye. Georgia State, Louisiana Monroe. I'm going to go with Louisiana Monroe getting 14 on the road. Louisiana Monroe plus 14 is my play, just because I don't think Georgia State is good enough to be a 2-touchdown favorite. Yeah, they just beat up on Southern Miss and Old Dominion, but Louisiana Monroe, they keep games close. They barely beat Texas State. They got beat up by Army. Can't blame them there. It's a triple option. If you don't have a triple option, you're bound to get beat by it. Covered against South Alabama. Covered against Coastal. Those are two very good Sun Belt teams. Two of the best Sun Belt teams. And you're covering against them. I think you should be able to cover against Georgia State. Again, I don't know a ton about this Louisiana Monroe team. I know that they like to run the ball a lot, and so does Georgia State. Louisiana Monroe is susceptible to letting up a lot of rush yards. But again, 14 is a big number for me, and they keep games close. I don't think they went outright, but they're going to keep this game close. I'm on the Warhawks.
I respect it. I mean, I just know that Georgia State had a horrendous start to the season, and I know that not even their wins have been that impressive. So, yeah, I'd roll with it.
And it's the Fun Belt. Like, anything can happen in those games. I just don't think that – I know Georgia State's at home, but they're not an elite Sun Belt team that should be getting 14 points. So then that moves us – moves us out of the noon 1 o'clock slate and into 3:30. So let's start with Alabama and Ole Miss. Yeah,
I'm going to – I literally just did the week 11 preview earlier this today with Dylan, Liam, and our special guest Sam Kahn from The Athletic. If you guys haven't listened or watched it, shameless plug, go watch it. But in all honesty, I did take Ole Miss to beat Alabama because I think that Ole Miss is one of the best rushing attacks in the SEC. Alabama, for the first time in a long time, is not a top 2 offense in the country. I mean, top 2 offense in the SEC. That feels insane. I really think I should look out for Quinshon Judkins. I think he's a great running back. He's a 3-star guy playing Alabama from his home state in Alabama. And he was, like I said, 3-star. This dude didn't even get recruited by Bama. So I think he's going to have a bit of a revenge game against the Tide. And this is at the Grove. This is at Ole Miss. I really think I think Ole Miss are in a good spot here. You know, a lot of people call Ole Miss overrated throughout the season. I think even though they lost to LSU, I think they've still proven their worth. I still think they're a great football team. I think defensively they're really good. I think they're going to keep it close against Bama. I might take back the part about them winning, but I still think that they can definitely keep it close.
Yeah, I think Alabama's reeling from that loss. And again, they have 2 road losses. They haven't been good on the road. This would be a huge win for Ole Miss because if somehow LSU slips up and Ole Miss catches this game and somehow pulls this off and Alabama gets upset once again, Ole Miss is right there. They'd be the team coming out of the West. So
maybe they should be the thing about Ole Miss is they only got the 1 loss to LSU all season. They're still in it for playoff contention.
Yeah.
But nobody's talking about it. Like, yeah, I know we only have 3 regular season games left plus the conference title games. But they got Mississippi State coming up, who obviously hasn't looked the most impressive. They got Alabama, but if they can take care of business rest of the way, and you know, if they beat Georgia, I highly doubt that'll happen. But if they somehow do, you almost got to put them in the playoff at that point.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me is I don't love Jackson Dart. I don't think he's very good. So that could be their downfall, but the rest of the team is pretty gosh darn good. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, I like that play for sure. Alabama's reeling. Maybe Bryce Young turns it on. Who knows? But I guess moving on from that, I'm gonna go with so not an official play for me. It's in my parlay, but I really like Louisville in this spot. I really like Louisville. They've rattled after they're losing to BC. They've won 4 in a row. I just think that this is a good spot for them because Clemson just lost to Notre Dame. Malik Cunningham is really freaking good, and Louisville could pull off this upset. I don't think they will, but they were one of my picks in the upset show. I just like them in the spot. Keep your eyes out. Maybe I get a couple beers in me by 3 o'clock, and I come back to this game and bet it straight. But for now, I'm going to leave it alone.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you on there. I mean, look, Clemson is honestly, look, we also spoke about the recap. You replaced Clemson's logo with Wake Forest. What rank are they right now?
Yeah, exactly. They're not very impressive. And I don't like DJ at all. I think DJ is not good. So Clemson's on upset alert for me this week. UCF Tulane's going to – what's up?
Oh, I was just going to say, hold on. Are you about to talk about the UCF Tulane game?
I was about to. I was going to bring it up real quick.
For it.
This is one of the best games of the day, in my opinion. I think that if Tulane pulls this off, they're going to be in a New Year's Six bowl. They're
Have you looked at the rest of their schedule?
It's not easy, right?
They got SMU, and then they have to go to Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's going to be tough for them. I don't know. I think they beat UCF though. I don't love UCF. They didn't impress me against Memphis. They didn't impress me against Cincy. They got beat up at East Carolina. They turned the ball over way too many times in the red zone. I like this Tulane team. I think that they play good defense, and I think that they have a really strong run game. I think Tulane. You know what? Add Tulane money line to my card. Actually, I'm gonna write that down. I like Tulane money line. But then again, yeah, that's going to be tough for them to go to SMU. That's going to be a tough last couple stretch.
Well, I mean, what they got going for them is that the SMU game is at home at New Orleans. But I don't remember the last time Cincinnati's lost at home.
Yeah.
It's been like 3 years since that's happened, 2 or 3 years. I don't think they lost. Yeah, they definitely did not lose at home in 2020. They did not lose at home in 2021. They haven't lost at home this year. It's seriously been since 2019 the last time Cincinnati's lost at home. So we also spoke a little bit about it today. Right now, the G5 New Year's Six bid is way up for grabs, and it sucks because Grayson McCall being now out for 3 to 6 weeks. Like, now that, like, what does that mean for Coastal? What if Coastal starts to slip up? What if UTSA just wins out? Let's just say they win the rest of their games. They win the Conference USA title. I mean, almost makes you feel like they deserve to be there. And I think I really hate the spot for UCF because I do think Tulane's going to win this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I think UCF is the better team, though. Unfortunately, I just hate the spot for UCF just because they've just been so inconsistent for me. When they're on, they're like they could be the best G5 team in the country. But when they're off, you see what they did against East Carolina when Plumlee threw 3 picks. I think 2 of them were in the red zone, and they when they look flat, they just like.
Yeah.
Please don't screenshot that. That was horribly looking on camera.
I'm gonna screenshot that. So that's gonna be a fun game though. But let's move on. We're gonna go 20-year teams. You got to play here. Wisconsin, Iowa, 2 very, very disappointing teams. That Wisconsin's coming off a nice win against. They're both coming off nice wins. Iowa beat Purdue and Wisconsin just beat Maryland. But what do you think about this one?
Fuck Iowa. That's what I think. But in all seriousness, I mean. I think Wisconsin's playing I think Wisconsin's playing with a lot of confidence right now. I know it was a tough loss to Michigan State a couple weeks ago, but they've since beaten Purdue. They've since beaten Maryland. Maryland was seen as one of the most underrated teams in the Big Ten going into this game. Talia had a lot of hype, and I know that Talia did not have – I know he wasn't at his healthiest last week, but that is still a Maryland offense that was held to 10 points. And they haven't scored less than 27 the rest of the season. So for them to go from 27 straight down to 10 in one game against Wisconsin, I think speaks a lot on how Wisconsin's playing defensively and how Jim Leonard's got the defense revved up. Graham Mertz is still inconsistent in terms of offense, but I remember when I spoke to 24/7's Evan Flood about Wisconsin's rest of the way, he kind of put it best. If you just get a touchdown on Iowa, you're probably going to win this game. But the sad part is with Iowa, it's like you look at them a little bit, and it's like, Spencer Petras has 3 passing touchdowns in the last 2 games. Mm-hmm. Hell is freezing over. But I still think that even though Wisconsin's defense as a whole has not been the most consistent this year, I think they're starting to find their groove again, and I think he's going to be absolutely suffocated by the front 7.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Petras is really bad. I love Braylon Allen. I think he's incredible. He's explosive. He's a great player. I like Wisconsin in this spot. I think just – like, obviously, Iowa is one of the best defenses in the country, but as a team, Wisconsin seems more well-rounded, and I think that bodes well for them. So what's next here? What time is that? Right here, 7 o'clock. So then let's go into – I think that's all of our 3:30 games for now. Yeah, 7 o'clock now. Let's move into the late slate. We'll start off with Andrewster's picks. He sent me his slate. He's going to start with Baylor -2.5 against a reeling Kansas State. I don't hate it. I actually like the spot for Baylor. Baylor has kind of bounced back after falling apart a little bit. They just beat Oklahoma. That was a game that I like Baylor in. I like Baylor in this spot. Kansas State just kind of – they don't really move the needle for me anymore. I don't think
the issue with Kansas State is that there's 2 schools of thought with Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
The school of thought is well, you can't really blame them. They lost to 3 really good teams. They lost to Tulane, they lost to Texas, and I forgot who the TCU.
Yeah.
Okay, you lost to a team that's in the top 4, primed for a playoff spot. You lost to Texas, who's so much more rejuvenated this year than what they were last year, and then your other loss was to arguably the best team in the New Year's Six in the G5 this year. But on the same time, on the flip token, you got to be like, okay, well, if we think that they're that impressive, if we're so far behind Adrian Martinez's revenge tour and Deuce Vaughn being as good of a running back as he is, and I do think he's a spectacular player, I think he's one of the top 5 running backs in the country, then it kind of also makes you think like, well, surely they could at least get one of those wins over a good team. And with this game being in Waco, I truthfully don't hate the Baylor pick.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's kind of mine. I have the same thought process for that. It being in Waco is a huge boost for Baylor, and like they want to rack up these wins. It'd be a nice top 25 win for them, get them into a better bowl game. But yeah, I like them in that spot for sure. So then the next 7 o'clock game for us, let's go into the game where game day will be. The game of the night. We're gonna go right from Tulane UCF right into TCU Texas. I kind of think TCU is a little bit overrated as the 4 spot, but you can't really not have them at 4 right now because they're undefeated and they've been playing well. They dig themselves into holes, yes, but they always finish. I think that Texas is very overrated at 18. I think giving them a touchdown is kind of just
preposterous.
Yeah, they shouldn't be giving a touchdown. I think TCU covers the spread. I don't know if I don't hate sprinkling TCU money line because I think TCU is they just have a better offense. The defense is a little shaky. Texas does have a good defense, but TCU could win. If TCU wins this game outright, I don't think they're going to lose for the rest of the regular season. But I'm going to take TCU +7. I really like that play. I was leaning on it my lock, but I knew a lot of the public money is on TCU right now, so that's not gonna be my lock. But I like TCU. I like Max Duggan, Kendre Miller. They're just a lot of fun, and I think it's gonna be a great game. And go Horned Frogs.
I feel like Vegas is absolutely flipping us the double bird right now with this game, with the way that they got Texas -7. They know that everyone's going TCU +7. Everyone they're probably banking on people betting on TCU money line at this point, and they know that people are going to be too scared to actually bet on this game right now because of where the line's at. Because now everybody's thinking, well, what do they know about Texas that we don't? I'm staying the hell away from this game. Even if this game was Texas -2.5, I'd probably go TCU money line. But with this being right where it's at, I don't trust these guys as far as I can throw them.
Yeah, 7 is very, very big. But I mean, it's going to be on in front of me. It's going to be my TV. I'm going to take it. I really I just like TCU. I want to ride with them. I want to root for TCU to get in the playoff. I think they really add electricity to that playoff, and I think it'll be a great game. I think it's going to come out of the last possession, whether it be the ball, Duggan having the ball or Ewers having the ball. It's going to be a great game. But yeah, TCU +7 for me, and then Drewster is on over 65 in that game, which I like as well. So. Next game, another good game. It would have been better if Wake Forest didn't fall apart and be ranked, but UNC is going into Wake Forest. I love UNC +150 on the money line. I know their defense can't stop a nosebleed, but Wake Forest's defense also can't stop a nosebleed. Drake May, in my opinion, should be the Heisman frontrunner. He's incredible. If you haven't watched Drake May, watch this game on Saturday night, and you will fall in love with him. He's so much fun to watch. I just think that he's the difference maker. Love Sam Hartman as well, but I think Drake May has been better. He's made less mistakes, and this is kind of going to prove to the country that Drake May should be in New York for at least be Heisman finalist. But give me UNC money line +150.
And let's not forget just how bad Sam Hartman's been over the last 3 games. I mean,
it's been brutal.
It's been shut up Zoom. So pretty much what I'm just trying to say here is I think Sam Hartman, he's got 7 picks in the last 3 games, and he's been sacked 12 times in that same span too. It's not been going well for the Wake Forest offense. It's UNC, to be honest. That's the move at this point. I can't trust Wake Forest at all right now. They're just being demoralized.
Yeah, I know they're at home, but I agree. UNC's hot. If they didn't drop that game in Notre Dame, they'd be in a great spot. But oh well, the ACC's out of the playoff picture. I love Drake May, like I've been saying. UNC money line for me, one of my favorite bets of the day. Give me value on the Tar Heels. So I guess so the round of the 7:00 games, I'll throw out Andrew's pick real quick. He's got Cadillac Williams and the Auburn Tigers -1.5 against Texas A&M. I like that play. I like Cadillac. I think this is going to be a good spot for them. Texas A&M is falling apart at the seams, so you might as well go with the Tigers.
Prayers up for Jay. Someone watch out for trees outside his dormitorium.
Yeah. So, and then those are the 7:00 games. To round out my night, I'm going crazy. I'm taking the over 78 in UCLA, Arizona. The total's just so high, you have to bet the over. You can't bet the under in this game and then miss out if it does go over. Over 78 to round out my night. I love it. I love Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Jacob DeLaura somehow is top 10 in passing in the country. I don't know how, but go off. Give me the over in that game. So that's our slate. Yeah, I really like these plays. I think this is going to be a good week for us. let's move into the parlay / teaser corner. You got anything for us?
I do.
Let's go.
I've missed this so much. I missed having a parlay set up. So what I have here is an 8-leg parlay at plus 144. It's another can't lose, will not lose.
Can't lose.
It will not lose. All right. Liberty minus 625 against Connecticut. Book it. Liberty's not losing to UConn. UConn's been one of the best stories in college football this year. They're probably going to make it a bowl game, but unfortunately, this is not going to be the game where they lock that title. SMU minus 972 against South Florida. South Florida's only got one win the whole year.
Yeah.
SMU is going to absolutely obliterate these guys. They might beat them by 28. Notre Dame minus 775 against Navy. Of course, if there was any game that would lose, it's obviously this game. But no, Notre Dame's going to beat Navy. Notre Dame is back. Marcus Freeman, coach of the year. Okay, maybe not that far. I mean, I got to give it to Sonny Dykes at this point. But Arkansas State, I would never think I'd have Arkansas State on a parlay, but they are at minus 1,000 against UMass. Okay, easy addition. Houston, yay, minus 1,400 against Temple. Temple's awful. Temple's terrible. All right. I don't even think people realize Temple is a university anymore. So Cougs by 35. UTSA minus 1098 against Louisiana Tech. I think UTSA is going to win out. I think they're going to win the Conference USA, and I wholeheartedly believe that they have a legit shot to make a New Year's Six bowl. And then last two, Air Force minus 2272 against New Mexico. They're going to beat New Mexico. Trust me. They're just going to do it. We don't have to go into reasons why. They're just going to do it. Just trust me. And then lastly, you're going to love this. Penn State minus 380 against Maryland. Maryland's pissed me off. Okay. And Drewster, you lied to me about Maryland.
Yeah, I really hope Penn State wins that game. I think they will. That's plus 884, you said?
144.
Plus 144. Okay, that's what it's okay. I was like, no way, that's plus 884. I misheard you.
No,
plus 144.
It's an 8-leg. That's what I was trying to say.
Big old favorites. I love it. So for me, we're back with dog parlays. But it's not your typical dog parlay because actually I have some favorites in here. I'm calling it a dog parlay because it's named after my dog. My dog, Duke, our special guest. If you've been watching the show in the past couple of weeks, my dog's been making appearances. He's upstairs taking a nap right now. This is called the Duke lay because the first leg is Duke moneyline. So it's a dog parlay. It's named after my dog. Yeah, I got some favorites in here, but shut up. It's the Duke lay, okay? So Duke lay, we're starting off with Duke moneyline, obviously. I kind of talked about Louisville earlier. Louisville plus 11. I like that. Kind of gets you over the hump of over the football number of 10. They're plus 7. Give me the 4 points. It's like 1-7 minus 175, but it's added to parlay, so it doesn't really matter. South Alabama. I love the Jags. I love the Damian Webb. He's a stud. I think they win this game they're 14.5, I believe. They'll probably blow them out, but I want to be safe. Minus 13. Give me Washington plus 15 against Oregon. That gets you over the number 14. Oregon probably wins this game. I think Washington hangs in there until the fourth quarter. So that's why I like plus 15. And to round it out, not a dog, but Wyoming money line minus 380 in there against Colorado State. They should win that game easily. So the first annual Duke lay kind of adjusted dog lay. Duke money line, Louisville plus 11, South Alabama minus 13, Washington plus 15, Wyoming money line. That's 5 legs. It gets you plus 638. Those are our parlays. Let's get in to probably the best segment of the show, the locks. Last week, we had locks from me, Matt, and Andrewster. 3-0. I caught that late over in Alabama, LSU. You don't know how I did it, but it was incredible that it came out late. And then Andrewster covered with his Cadillac Williams interim coach game. And then Matt had Texas minus 2.5, which hit. So for me, I just hit on an over. I'm going to go reverse logic here. My lock is gross. It's the under Minnesota Northwestern. That's a 5-star white whale lock play of the week. I love it. I don't think Northwestern scores at all in this game. I think Minnesota wins like 35-0 or 31-7, something along those lines. But this game, there's no shot this game goes over 41. Northwestern, when they play offense, they run the Wildcat with Evan Hull. They're just going to kind of run the clock down, try to get in deep. They're not going to score. Minnesota's defense is way too good, but I don't think Minnesota will put up a lot of points because it's going to be 20 degrees and they just run the ball. So under 41 for me. Oh, yeah, and then let me add in Drewster's luck. He's on Florida -8, which I like a lot.
So me personally, I'm going to go with Texas Tech team total over 34.5. And this is not as much about Texas Tech's offense because they have struggled at times, but it's more about I am not a believer of Kansas at the moment. I know they just got that big win over Oklahoma State. Guess what? Oklahoma State, they're no longer ranked. They're frauds. You get the whole gist at this point. But before that win against Oklahoma State, they allowed 35 to Baylor. They allowed 52 to Oklahoma. They allowed 38 to TCU. 3 of their last 4 games, they've allowed 35. This game is in Lubbock. Texas Tech, they like to score in Lubbock. I don't know what their quarterback situation is right now, but I've got zero reason to believe that they will not score more than 35. Texas Tech over 34.5 against Kansas, still one of the worst defenses in the country. Lock it in. Texas Tech over 34.5.
I love it. So then those 3 locks from us. Matt didn't give us a lock, but I'm sure he'll have it to check out his articles that'll come out later in the week. So our 3 locks are under 41 in Minnesota Northwestern, Florida -8 from Andrewster, and Andrew's back with Texas Tech team total over 34.5, right?
Yep.
I got that number right. I always worry that I mess it up. So that's our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week. Hopefully we can get all 4 of us back again, and then I'll get my dogs. We'll have all 5 of us. But follow us at Transfer Portal CFB, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Got us on YouTube. We'll see you next week. Let's win some money.